started, Madhmesh.
Super. Okay. Good morning, good evening for folks here. Today is August 24th, the third session of SBOA Alumni Learning Series. We have a positive guest today, Shalini, who is going to talk and share the experience on more of gratitude and positive. There are 9 people, but let other people join in as well. They can. And over to you, Shalini. You want to share your screen clearly?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Madhanesh, and thanks to each one of you who joined in. Really appreciate you taking the time, especially on a weekend, early in the morning, some of you late evening. So thank you all very much. I hope I'm able to add value to all of us through this session. Um, just give me a minute. I'll start by sharing my screen, but I think that's just more of something to guide us through. But I think I just have a lot of stories and a lot of facts to share. Um, if one of you can confirm once you're able to see my screen. Uh,
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
you see my screen now? Okay. Okay. So, yeah, so today's topic is the power of gratitude and positive thinking. And this topic is super close to my heart. The reason I say it is, while in the recent past, this topic has gained a lot of momentum when you scroll through Instagram, YouTube, and also a lot of people talking about manifestation, law of attraction, and so on. Um, this is something that came into my life, I would say, almost a decade back. To be very precise, maybe about 9.5 years back in 2015. I was listening to some podcasts. I was personally in a place in life where I thought there were avenues in my life that I wanted to improve on, including, my professional life, my personal relationships, um, and also various aspects relating to, how I want different things in my life to happen. Okay, so this is the time, and it was around this time in my life I was listening to a podcast where I came across uh, the thing called journaling, um, and listening listening more about it, I came to know about gratitude journaling, and I thought, okay, let me give it a try. And then, the kind of impact it had in my life, right from, how both in the near short term as well as in the long term. Clearly long term because I've been practicing it for about a decade now. Is the reason why this topic is close to my heart. And when Madhunish reached out, when this particular group was getting formed and asking who would like to talk about what, I thought, this would be the most apt topic for me because I felt, I mean, though I'm doing something totally different professionally, this is something that's had the most impact in my life. And I thought I should take this opportunity to share it with all my friends. And yeah, so that's how we are here today. Um, so me, so the author, so me being an authority on this topic is only because of my personal experience, which led to me being interested and trying to understand the science behind gratitude journaling, behind positive thinking, and then also, as and when I find time, I keep learning more about it, maybe try to do certifications, but that's just more from my own personal interest. Okay. So in case a lot of you are wondering why am I talking about this topic, this is the background. Okay. So now going to uh, what gratitude is about, right? So a lot of times what eventually happens in our life day to day is, we keep talking about things that are not going well in our life. We keep complain, there are a lot of things that we complain about. It could be the traffic, it could be the weather, it could be how busy our life is. But I think as a habit, we do not take enough time to be thankful for things that are in our life. And I think that is very important. Maybe when we were in school, I think most of you would remember, before we had our lunch, we used to have this prayer which says, "Thank you, God, for the food we eat," and things like that, right? A lot of times we just repeat it as a habit. We never like feel what we say. We just used to do it because, we were taught in school to do it. But I think, to break the habit of talking about things that don't go well, about complaining and so on. I think just the opposite of that, but in a very, very positive construct is what gratitude is. So if you see my screen, I just have this quote here by Dr. Algo, um, which says, gratitude seems to be the gift that keeps on giving. Okay. Um, there is a very powerful meaning behind it, which essentially is, you attract more of what you're thankful for. Okay. So, why I say this is most important is because, um, let's take, for example, there could be days that you start with not feeling all that great, right? You wake up, you feel anxious, then you see that subsequently everything that happens is like a tumbling downfall. Like, you start to work, there's a lot of traffic, you go late, your meeting has started and things like that, right? It's just not a great start for the day. So at the same time, let's say you consciously and mindfully start your days, the way your day unfolds itself changes very, very much. So, when I say you attract more what you're thankful for, it is a very, very conscious effort. And there is a science behind why this works as well, which we will come to subsequently. But it basically means that, let's say, if I am thankful for um, having great friends, it essentially means that I will in the future receive a lot of good friends into my life. Similarly, if I say I'm thankful I mean, it's not just about saying, but it's also about feeling. But, if you truly feel grateful for how you are improving your health, you will attract more of how you can improve your health. And this kind of happens. You can apply this to all areas of your life, like work, relationship, finances, um, health, anything and everything. And, this is how I started doing it about 9 years ago, where I think, in my personal life, I was in a place where I was not very happy with everything, the way things were unfolding. And then, I came across gratitude journaling, and then I consciously applied things that I'm thankful for about a person, about a relationship to attract that relationship into my life. Same can happen even for your work relationships and so on. Okay, so that is, gratitude in an essence and how it can help you in your life. So now, if you're convinced enough, there is some science behind why it works a certain way, which is, you know, uh, all matters are energy. So basically, everything in this universe is an energy. And we know from school times that, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It just changes from one form to another. And when we say energy, it vibrates at a certain frequency, right? That's what we call as energy. So energy is essentially like vibration plus a frequency. And, when you break this down, what exactly is frequency is basically like the thoughts we have. And vibration is essentially the emotion behind those thoughts. So now, for example, if you take, let's say if you've decided to buy a new car or like a new vehicle, for instance, you're reading up about it, you're checking its features, you're watching YouTube videos about, what is good about it. And then suddenly what you tend to see is, when you go out in the road, you spot a lot of those vehicles because, your mind is kind of tuned to looking at for those things that you're focusing on. Similarly, um, that's what when we say, uh, in Tamil, I think all of us in the call know a bit of Tamil, right? Am I missing somebody who may not know? Just having a look at this. Okay, I think most of us understand. So, there is this a proverb in Tamil called Yennam Pol Varkai, which essentially translates to, you know, your how you think is how your life will be, right? So, the and if I had to break that proverb down into what it means, this is what it is, what you see in the slide. So basically, your thoughts are your. Jivita, you were saying something?
No, sorry. I didn't know I was on.
Okay. All right. Sorry. So, I was saying, going back to the proverb of Yanam Kol Varti. So, your thoughts are your frequencies, breaking it down. And then, and when I say it's thoughts plus emotions, which is energy, it is essentially like, you know, um, okay, let me take this example, right? Let's say uh, you are at a place in your life where, you want to do some, um, let's say you want to donate to a cause. Okay. It's a cause that means something to you. It could be about donating food for some special occasion to any underprivileged group, or it could be that you want to sponsor a child's education. It could be anything, right? So taking that as an example, here your action is, you want to uplift a particular person and you want to donate for that cause. You can do that out of kindness, you can do that out of love, or you can do that out of pride to say that I'm doing this because I can, and then I want people to know that I'm doing this, right? So the action is the same, which is you're donating for a particular cause to uplift somebody, but the emotion is totally different. You can either have pride or you can have kindness, love, right? So um, the whole process of positive thinking is a combination of both thoughts as well as the emotion that you have in linked to that thought, which is what the energy is about. So very simply put, let's say, if you have to listen to radio, you need to tune into a frequency, right? So similarly, you have to tune into an energy to an energy level to be able to attract more of similar things into your life, right? So now that we've broken this down in terms of how things work, I think it would make us all feel that, how our life unfolds is definitely in our hand, because we can control our thoughts and we can control our emotions. May not be easy at the first instance, but it definitely can be something that each of us can work on. Right? So, yeah, so that was my question to ask. Now, do you think you can change your energy through your thoughts and emotions, and which, just logically speaking, it is very much possible. So now, um, moment. So now, we spoke about the different emotions and how thoughts work. So I'm just borrowing this chart from this book called Power versus Force. It is a book by David Hawkins where he talks about the different types of um, emotions that empower somebody and the different type of emotions that pull people down. Okay, so in the the above the power emotions that you see above this line are things like love, joy, peace, acceptance, willingness to do something, or just have a neutral emotion, right? Like without, which is being basically non-judgmental, and of course the highest being enlightenment. Whereas if you look at the um, emotions that pull somebody down, it is things like pride, anger, desire, grief, apathy, guilt, and shame, right? So I think anytime we perform an action, map it to what do you feel when you do it. So and try to see if it falls in the force category or in the power category. Because I think if you see something in the power category, I think it's important to take a conscious effort to do the same activity or action that you intend doing using the emotion in the power category. So like I just mentioned an example we spoke about in terms of, making a donation, right? It can be to love or it could be to pride, so things like that. So, uh, so that's what, the emotion plus thought, which matches with the energy is all about. So, now moving on to,
Shalini, can you go back?
yeah,
Question.
of course, of course.
So, how do we interpret courage here? Because it's right in the middle,
Yeah.
and it's
So,
actually in the second half. So,
yeah, yeah. So it's more, I would say, in the so courage and neutral. So courage, I would say, is more like the median where you acknowledge something in the sense you want to do it, right? Like, let me give an example. Um, I would say it's more like coming out of the force and into the power. It is not a bad thing, but at the same time, just with courage, you are not really vibrating at a very positive frequency. It's just that you are taking that step forward to go into the power emotions. They generally, there's this saying that, change is always hard at first, um, messy in the middle, and then gorgeous at the end. So, courage is basically the hard part, right? Um, you're going
or
to
can we also interpret this as a pathway to the second half to the first half?
Yes, definitely,
Okay.
definitely.
And
Yeah,
with the three sub layers that you talked about, hard, uh,
yes,
etc. Okay,
yeah,
understood. Thanks. Okay.
exactly, exactly. So, so yeah, so that's you know, just an idea around how you feel. Always check your feeling. Um, more than what our mind logically knows. I think our gut knows things a lot. So trust your gut instinct. I mean, a lot of us come from backgrounds where we think logically, which is very, very important as well. But all I would say is do not disregard your gut feeling. It's very, very important. So, yeah. So just check on how you feel when you do certain things and then go by, you know, the power emotions. Now, so yeah, I think this again just is to reiterate, always remember that, any action that you do is not just the act, but also the emotion combined. So, yeah, always consciously build your days with thoughts of emotions of power. So, while we know this, right, that, these are power emotions, these are emotions that pull you down by force, it's not always possible to be in a state of euphoria, to be like all happy, excited, you know, like that. But it comes with habit. You will be able to change your subconscious mind to be tuned to feeling the power emotions, even when things go wrong. Okay. And it is not a bad thing. It is not that uh, it is not possible. It is very much possible. And I think the first thing to that is acceptance, right? Because anytime you feel a force emotion like guilt, shame, fear, anxiety, anything, you know, you can't again tackle with another force emotion. So as something in between to move over to the power emotion, you first need to accept your situation that's triggering you. And yeah, and that will help you to shift the frequency from towards power from force. Okay. And this eventually will help you not just react to a situation, but actually take control of the situation and then see how you want to respond to it. Reaction versus responding are very, very different things. So, if you want to respond to a situation consciously, first is important that you take control over that situation. Um, and of course, a lot of triggers in our life is not just because of us, but a lot of external factors. It could be that you wake up one day, you feel like, oh my God, there's just too many things, pressure at work, something at home doesn't feel right, the kid is unwell, there's a meltdown happening. So, it's not that every situation happens truly from your own self, but outside situation. But I think the first step to tackling it is to accept it and then, move to the power emotion. Okay, like let's say there's a kid that is not keeping well, has a meltdown going on. What do? You can't like be angry at them because that's not going to help. But at the same time, you accept the situation and then show kindness, you show love, So the first step to moving about to power emotion is accepting the situation. So that is what this one's about. And then the next interesting fact, which about our mind, is we have a conscious mind and we have a subconscious mind. So conscious mind, we know, we logical thinkers, we know what we want to do, like we have an objective, we take steps to achieve that objective, and we go ahead, right? So talking less about the conscious mind, but more about subconscious mind. Subconscious mind is basically like our belief system. And there is, again, methods, ways, and science on how you can make your subconscious mind work on things that you want, right? To achieve your dreams, goals, to just make your life the way you want it to be. Right. So one interesting fact about subconscious mind is, it does not know if you're telling something in a good way or if you're telling something in a not so good way. Okay. All that it knows is the subject you're talking about. Okay. So let's say, I think let's go with the example I put here. So, you can say to your subconscious mind, I want to be healthy, or you can tell to your subconscious mind, I do not want to be sick, right? So, in essence, it means the same. But then here, so the subconscious mind does not know the word want or do not want, but what it knows is if you're talking about health or if you're talking about sickness, okay, and it will tune its actions to focus on the word or the thought that you keep thinking about, right? So, maybe even when we were in school, like let's say, if the teacher is making questions in the classroom, we might be like, okay, she should not like point to us and ask us anything. So, we try to not make eye contact or like do such things, thinking, she shouldn't call me, she shouldn't call me. But a lot of times, when you're thinking so deeply that she shouldn't call me, she would point to you and ask the question, right? Or you might feel like, uh, let's say you're going late to work or like you're going after a holiday, you've promised some deliverable at work, and then you're like, okay, they should not remember about my deliverable. They should not remember what deliverable. I'll give it in a couple of days. But then, eventually like people end up asking about it. It's mainly because, your mind is focusing on a thought which you are saying you don't want it, but the subconscious mind does not understand it. It only knows the thought. It doesn't understand want or do not want. So that's the reason why, let's say, when you think positive thoughts, right? You think about what you like, not about what you don't like. You think about how you want things to be rather than what you don't want. So And all of this comes with having uh, a good clarity of thought, and uh, we'll come to how we can get to it. But in essence, along with the signs of frequency and vibration that we saw a few minutes back, this is again science, and it basically means focusing on things that you want rather than don't want, because your subconscious mind does not understand the difference. Okay. So now, um, while we spoke a bit about the science, we're still scratching the surface here. There are like a lot more things, um, all very interesting. But I think, as a start, I think these factually true scientific things are important for us to even like believe that something like this will work, right? So that's the reason why I thought I'll use this session to talk about some basic concepts like frequency, vibrations, how the subconscious mind works. And now, um, not every day comes with, all the good things. When you're not feeling great, some of the things that can help to also shift your vibration and then for you to have a positive subconscious mind are some of the things mentioned here. Some things are a lot very self-explanatory, but we will maybe dive a bit deeper into aspects that are not so um, common. So we all know meditation. Meditation is very, very good to shift your mood. Similarly, is movement. Movement here does not necessarily mean just exercise, going to the gym, but it could just also mean just walking around your corridor on your block. It could mean dance, it could mean playing a sport, just movement in general. Very, very good to shift your energy to feeling better. um, Gratitude journaling, I will come to that, how we can do it, and certain some prompts that can help you get started. Of course, I have like hundreds of other prompts that I can share as well after our call. But um, nature therapy, at the end of the day, we are part of Mother Earth. So, it's important that we connect with nature time and again. Living in cities, we lose this a lot, but I think, just going to the beach or like uh, being amidst greenery, taking a walk, if you have pets, taking your pets for a stroll, uh, you know, all these are just beautiful ways to uplift your energy levels. Uh, Music, again, very, very nice. Also depends on what kind of music, but music is also very nice. And then affirmations and visualization. So again, gratitude journaling, affirmation, visualization may not be like common things that all of us do day to day. So we'll touch a bit upon these topics now, maybe just a couple of minutes each. So for gratitude journaling, what you need is, I would say, uh, take a notebook and a pen, pencil, pen, anything, but always in a notebook. I've tried to talk about gratitude journaling to my family, like also to my parents. Yeah, my dad feels he's very techie and that he doesn't want to write in a pen and he wants to do it in his phone, like in notes and so on. But I always say like pen to paper because, the act of writing actually slows down our thinking process and it allows us to ponder more deliberately. So it's just a more conscious and a mindful way of doing it. It also gives our mind the time to think about what we are writing. So um, and when I say gratitude journaling, you can start by things like, you know, what about today is good? What about today I liked a lot, right? It could be that, um, you know, you have a pet at home, you had a very pleasant time with your pet, um, he or she did something very fun. It could be that you had a nice time with your family. It could be that your drive to work was very, very traffic free. It could be you saw a beautiful sunrise, you had an amazing coffee, tea, whatever. So, it could be just really, really simple things, but it is your conscious effort to take that time. It need not have to be long time. It could be just like 5-10 minutes to start with. I'm sure, once you start doing it, you would want to spend more time doing it. But as a beginner, I would say take 10 minutes of your every day, preferably at the end of the day. If you're doing it just once a day, at the end of your day, write 5 things that you are extremely grateful for about today. Can be as simple things that, like I said. Um, Maybe, just doing that over and over again every day could be a way. Or let's say if that's kind of monotonous for you, you can pick topics like, you can pick a family member, you can pick your partner, your parents, and write about what about them that you like a lot, right? And you can see how their energy shifts. It can be that, you're having a bad relationship with somebody at work, right? You can ignore them, that's totally fine. But at the same time, if you want to consciously improve your relationship with them, you don't need to talk to them about it, but just in your journal, like write 5 things that you think you like about working together with them. It need not have to be forced, it need not have to be fake, but I'm sure there will be something. It could be that, you know, um, you had a decent conversation with them. You see that your relationship is improving, just anything positive, and that you are thankful for it. And you will see that it improves a lot. We started with the quote that says, things that you're thankful for will come more into your life. And that's the magic of gratitude journaling. Okay. So, same thing you can do for your finances, for your relationship, for your health. Yeah. And the next thing we thought we can discuss about is affirmations. I would say, affirmations and visualization is maybe one step more higher than that of gratitude journaling. When I say one step higher, not in the sense of what it brings to your life, but just in the sense of getting started, right? It's easier to do gratitude journaling because it's about things that has happened in your life that you're thankful for. It does not involve the need to be imaginative or things like that. But, still going into what affirmations are, it's again thinking positively. So say if I want to achieve a particular goal, right? So for example, let's say um, I want to start a business, but I have no idea um, how to go about it, right? So in that case, what affirmations would I give, right? So maybe I would say, I am confident and I have good clarity of thought uh, towards my business idea. Um, I am taking progressive steps to get to my goal. Um, Say things like, I am supported, I am in a fully supported environment. I'm attracting the right business partners to collaborate with, you know, just these type of things that, you kind of reiterate to yourself by either writing affirmations, reading affirmations. I would always say write, but if you're short of time, you can have a set of 10 affirmations and then read them every day. Also very, very helpful. Uh, a lot of times we keep hearing about the power of compounding. So, a lot of it we relate it to the financial sense, right? In terms of money growing and things like that. But the power of compounding kind of works similarly in all areas of our life. So let's say, you do gratitude journaling every day consistently, or have a pattern in which you do like once every week. I would say do it every day at the start at least, but however you plan for yourself. Similarly, affirmations. Here you're basically focusing on the right things that will get imprinted in your subconscious mind. And you're talking about things you want, right? And not about things you don't want, which you should never do. So, again, the power of compounding plays a lot here, similar to how, your money grows quickly with the power of compounding. How your mind works to achieve your goals as well works quickly if you do this consistently, with the power of compounding. So that's about affirmations. Again, you can have affirmations for different areas of your life, health, wealth, relationships, anything, career, just about anything. And the next thing is visualization. Um, you know, for this, you definitely need like a really quiet place where you can think about how you would, step by step of what you will do to get to where you want to be, right? It could be something like that, or it could be something like putting together like you may have heard the term vision board. I mean, I personally prefer to not put it out in the open. I prefer to have a book with, let's say, um, pictures of things that it need not have to be just things. It could be experiences of different emotions, um, you know, or just a detailed letter written down to you, to yourself, on how you'd want something to be, right? It can be something as simple as um, how do I want each of my day to be like, right from the start to the end. Don't think about anything else. Just talk about who are the people you want to meet, what emotions you want to experience, what do you want to have time to do every day. It's just those things. Again, these again help to tune your subconscious mind. Alternatively, you can have pictures either in your phone, like in your home screen, in your laptop, in your home screen, because you keep looking at them. So such things. And the other powerful thing about visualization is, you can always like imagine how your end goal will be. So say, for example, you're working on a project, at the end of it, there's going to be recognition, there's going to be uh, like award ceremony. You can always like visualize yourself being there, putting your best foot forward, being recognized. So, which is basically setting that in your subconscious mind, and then your mind knows this is what it needs to work towards. So, these are some aspects that will help you uh, feel positive and work towards what you want to achieve in a with the emotions of power that we spoke about. So gratitude journaling is easier to do. Affirmations and visualization need some time, focus, definitely also very effective, but it needs some practice before you feel very, very confident in doing it regularly. So, so these are some of those activities. Um, I think I just put some prompts. If you're like short on idea, okay, what do you mean by gratitude journaling? What should I write about? Some of it are these, like, what opportunity did I pursue, which is of my interest. You can write about how much happiness that gave you, what you liked about it, who supported you in those endeavors, so that you can attract more of such things into your life. Similarly, you like living in a place, you write things you're thankful for, about what you like about that place, and that will help you attract more of such experiences into your life, right? So some prompts, there are a lot more. If you're interested, just drop me a text. I can send you everything on this topic that I have. And then lastly, um, like I said, Enam Kol Varkai, your life is basically a reflection of your thoughts. And when you talk about being thankful for, a lot of times, people tend to think, actually, I first need to be happy about something, to be thankful about something. But that's not always the case. You have to actually be thankful for things that are in your life first, so that brings more happiness into your life, right? So that's the second quote that says it's not happiness that brings us gratitude, but it's actually gratitude that brings happiness. So I think with that, uh, this is everything. I would say to rewire our brain 101 in aspect of gratitude journaling and you know positive thinking. Any questions, would be very happy to answer. Of course, if you want to understand more, just ping me. If you want to have a chat, always open to do so. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Shalini. Given that you stated it's 101, can we assume or understand you will be interested in 102 or 201 or 301 further next year?
Yeah, very much.
Sure.
It's
Okay.
also like a topic, it's an evolving topic for me as I learn more about it. So, I will
Super.
definitely be happy to share more as we like.
Super. Aruna just accepted she'll host March 2025.
Mm-hmm.
So our calendar is till February. So March
Okay.
is Aruna. Can I sign you up for April for 201 on this topic, so that by that time all of us would have experimented all of this.
Yeah, sure. Happy to.
Okay.
You can add me to
Super.
April 2025, and then, yeah.
Super. All right. Any questions from anybody? Anything that people want to share or ask? Given we have 10 more minutes.
இன்னொரு இது செஷன் எப்போ வைக்கலாம்?
Energy
Anytime.
Anytime. என்னோட topic, I messaged you in the group, right? I have mixed half of my topic there.
Yes. So given this is April, we can do May then for your next one. Till that, anything particular to Shalini on the things that we have heard, listened to it today?
Yeah. I think just wanted to share nothing questions, but
Yeah,
good
please.
topic. Good topic to start the day, for me at least, or at least even end the day for many.
Thank you.
So I think something interesting I picked is what subconscious mind responds to, right? I never knew that terminology affects that. So thanks for that.
No, thank you. I'm glad I'm able to share some things that I've picked up also in the recent years. Thanks, Pradeep.
Thank you.
And one thing which is related to this, which I tend to follow, is
Mm-hmm.
one thing beyond this visualization and the gratitude is to act as if something is reality, right? Which is,
True.
for example, like 6 to 8 months back is when I started to be an early riser, like 4 to 5 a.m. times.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, in the first 2 months, it was not very easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
True.
knowingly or unknowingly, when I chatted with people who are especially in US or say in Australia, etc.,
Mm-hmm.
I started telling them, even though it was not daily happening, I started to tell them explicitly in my WhatsApp conversation that I'm an early riser, so I'm okay with this time.
Yeah.
Which subconsciously it has forced myself to wake up or make me awake, right? So that is also a trick.
True. Definitely.
Essentially, we are playing with ourselves, but these are all small nuggets, right? And it
Definitely.
can be anything, right? So it can be a negative, which is a positive. For example, I drink only once a month, right? This is the thing that I tell myself, etc. Right? It's not that it's reality, but
Yeah.
example, hypothetically speaking. So
Yeah. No, true, very true, right? There's this thing that goes by, fake it till you make it, right? Like, you tell people you're an early riser, but maybe you do it occasionally, but yeah, becomes a habit. True. Good. Any other thoughts, questions from anybody?
Yes, I have. There's Nitin here.
Yes.
I'm just going to pick up on a thought that you had on subconscious. If you could just go back to that slide.
Yeah, sure. You're talking about this one?
Yes. So you gave an example of a school kid trying to avoid eye contact with the teacher.
Mhm.
Yes. So what I'm going to do here is just a comment. It's not a question. It's a food
Yeah.
for thought for everyone who's attending the talk.
Mhm.
I am of a belief that everything has a reason.
Mhm.
So a child trying to avoid an eye contact with a teacher could be
Mhm.
due to a lot of other things like fear of embarrassment,
Mhm.
the teacher trying to scold the child, getting embarrassed in front of the class, being
Mhm.
ridiculed, or
Mhm.
being even complained to the parent that the child did not prepare.
Mhm.
So there are a lot of context to that and why
Mhm.
a child is reacting to that. But of
Agree.
course, now that we are thinking adults,
Mhm.
a lot of things that we do now is because of the conditioning system that we have around us. A
Mhm.
simple thing like how we react today to a particular situation could be due to that small, let's say, I was ridiculed or bullied in school by somebody, and that situation manifested itself in a very different context today. And the way I'm reacting to that is due to that particular event. It takes a
Mhm.
lot of thinking to realize why you are behaving the way you are behaving.
True.
And to understand the conditioning system around us is very, very important. For
Mhm.
example, our religious system, for example, why we say why we are in tune with a particular religion is because
Mhm.
what our parents taught us.
True. True.
And the simple things like small practices that we do as a part of the religious thing could be due
Mhm.
to somebody telling us that we have to do it that way,
Yeah.
and we
True.
have not given it the thought why we are doing that,
True.
right? So now that we are thinking adults, I think
Mhm.
we can go back and understand what caused that condition,
No,
right?
definitely. Yeah. True. True. True.
So and also that sometimes when you feel useful, it gives you a sense of gratitude,
Yes.
right? Feeling
Yes.
useful, it's a big thing. I might be sitting idle, but if I
Mhm.
feel useful in a particular situation, like simple thing like helping some person cross the road, gives you a
Exactly.
sense of a gratitude or a happiness to move on, right? So I
Definitely.
think that's very fundamental in that sense.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean,
Definitely.
just food for thought here. I mean, my two
No,
cents.
definitely. No, it makes a lot of sense because, I mean, based on what you told now, Nitin, I just got reminded of a small, a situation which again talks about how our minds are conditioned. In the context of, let's say, a story I heard about wealth. Okay, so where, a lot of times, some people might be, let's say, earning very well, but then it is never that, but they still have a not so good relationship with money, in the sense, they earn, but it also gets spent, right? And maybe, as a child, they kept hearing uh, conditioning from their family or from their environment saying, it's not easy to have money, it's not like, does it grow in trees and things
Right,
like that, right? So it's not always just from your own thoughts, but also like what you are used to hearing and believing, like you said, and which eventually also plays a role on how things unfold and how you think about things even as an adult, though it's not something that you still hear to the day, but your childhood conditioning. True.
yes. To break that conditioning is the toughest part, if I may.
Yeah. True. True.
Need not be right always, but yeah,
Yeah. True.
cool.
Thank you. Thanks for saying.
All right. Yeah, Shalini, can you make me host? I need to share my screen.
Say that again, Madlesh.
Can you make me host? I need to share my screen
Yeah,
quickly.
sure, sure, sure. Just a moment. Let me stop sharing my screen. And then I will make you a post. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you should now be able to.
Is my screen visible?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Yeah. So we are in August. Sharath, we will talk offline on what weekend works for you in September. And we have upcoming Dr. Rekha on health, on anything related to pregnancy on October. And this is one of my favorite topics that I'm looking forward. It's a very creative or tangential topic, man-animal conflicts in Russian areas. And I have signed up Aruna, Shalini, and Jeetu as discussed as well. Thank you so much for the set of audience. I have to say out loud that people who are attending here are repeat audience. So it's very encouraging to see that you take the time. Obviously, hopefully, more people join in as we grow this initiative as well. If I don't mind, if it's possible, can you come on video so that we take a screenshot and share it with the larger group? I know it's early morning, but other people, if you can come, I'm just going to quickly from myself. Okay. Sharath Prasanna, thank you so much. guys.
Manish, it's too dark here,
You-
so
No problem.
excuse me for this.
No problem. Yeah, Abhi, can you come as well? If possible. No, okay. Prasanna, your face should be visible. man.
ஒரு நிமிஷம் இருப்பா இருக்கிறேன் இங்கே இருக்கேன் நான்.
Oh. Okay, thank you. 1 minute. Right there.
எல்லாருமே தூக்க கலக்கத்துல இருக்கீங்க.
எல்லாமே தூக்க கலக்கத்துல இருக்கோம்ல நிதின். சரத் மட்டும்தான் கொஞ்சம் தெளிவா இருக்கான் போல.
Hey, gratitude that we woke up early and attended a good talk. So.
Yeah, thank you guys very much.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much. See you guys in September. Bye.
See you.
Thank you. Bye.